All right, everyone. Today is Tuesday. It's trial day. I'm going to call the docket. If your case does not work out today, you will be up for jury trial. Jury's going to be up here at 11. In custody, we have Jeffrey Adame, Alexander Williams. That's dismissed. All right, thank you. Isaac Brandley is in custody. Vernon Dixon, custody. Myra Gallegos. Thank you. Robert Van Horn. Robert Van Horn.
Judge, that got reset. Sam.
It did. You're right. John Lopez is in custody. Vincent Moore.
Here.
Thank you. Felix Apolinar, custody. Brittany Chapman. Brittany Chapman. Miguel Covarrubias, custody. Thank you. And at 11, Carla Smith, Christopher Trinidad, Victor Rodriguez. Cazacotel Martinez. I know I butchered that. Mr. Martinez. How do you pronounce that? Cazacota. Kittico. All right, Kittico Martinez. Alan Mayo. Alan Mayo. Javier Esparza is in custody. Gilbert Perryman III.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mario Pineda. On that case, my understanding that was going to be taken care of today. If not, then he will come in.
Judge, I'm running that.
All right, thank you. Orlando Adino is in custody.
Yes, Judge. We'll confirm on that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cassandra Pogue.
Present.
All right, where is she? Okay, thank you. And Christopher Esquivel.
Good morning, Judge. We're present. That was recalled from yesterday. We're ready.
All right, thank you. Anyone who's present and your name has not been called? All right, what's your name, sir?
My name is Robert Long.
Robert.
Long, L-O-N-G, ma'am.
All right, do you know who your attorney is?
S-C-U-R.
All right, do you know your case number or SID number?
No, they don't like that.
All right, just give us a moment, okay?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes. All right, do you know your case number or SID number? What is your SID number? All right, just give us a moment. We'll get with you. And excuse me, if you have a seat, miss. Yes. And do you know your case number or SID number? Yes. Okay. Wait, 118.
7114.
All right, just have a seat. We'll get with you. And the person in the pink who just came in, what's your name?
Carlos Smith.
Carlos, what?
Carla Ray Smith.
Okay. All right, do you know your case number or SID number?
Your Honor, she's on the recall. She's on the recall docket. She's the first one.
Ah, thank you. All right, to the persons whose name was not called, have any of you spoken to your attorneys? Have you met your attorneys at all? All right, just give us a second. We're going to make sure that happens today.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Yes.
I believe we brought over Abdul Miller. This was just going to be set for a quick bond hearing. He was, I believe, FCA.
All right, if you just have a moment, just have a seat and we'll take that up.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
I think he's in custody.
All right. All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. Number one, we're starting the jury trial at 11. So if your case does not work out and I see people are dressed appropriately for trial, that's greatly appreciated. You will be up for trial. The criminal trial division boxes are here. Family violence box is here. Just grab a file and have a seat. And they will call you in the order of appearance. As you all know, there's an uptick in COVID, flu, and other infectious diseases. So we try to keep the courtroom as least congested as possible. To my left is the court reporter. She has her equipment up there. Do not lean on her desk, touch her stuff, because if you damage that equipment is over $10,000 and you will have bought it. To the back, Vashon, if you could raise your hand. Probation officer, if you have someone here who's on probation, if you have a sentencing today, make sure you speak with her and confer with her. Do not put your items on her desk. Do not turn your back to her. That is her office. Do not sit on her desk. Do not put your papers on her desk. Back here is where the inmates come, as all the attorneys know. Do not block the officer's line of sight. If you request your client, do not leave the courtroom, because the deputies can only bring so many inmates out at a time. And if you request an inmate and then you leave, you're being selfish to your colleagues. If your client wishes to address the court in a language other than English, whether you speak the language or not, you need to ask for an interpreter. Do not approach the court. If you have not conferred with your client, conferred with the state, or conferred with probation as need be. Once you have done all those things and you're ready to approach the court, just approach the clerk, ask them to pull your file, let them know you're ready to speak with the court, have a seat. I'm going to call you in the order of appearance. The only exception to that is if there is an interpreter that is needed. So today is Tuesday. Guess what? It's a great day because we're closer to Friday than we were yesterday. So everyone, put some patience in your pocket, take it out as needed, share it with others, and confer with a smile on your face and kindness in your heart. So everyone, please confer. All right, could I see the files on Mario Pineda? Yes, and also on Alexander Williams.
Everyone always asks me that.
Yes. All right, thank you. Oh, is he?
I asked him to.
Oh, no, I need to speak to him. Let me. Let me text him.
Good morning. No, we have Mr. Miller back there. Was he not brought over today? Yeah, he was. I thought he was added. That's what I was informed of. So I mean, that's
All right, if you have the motion that you filed, if you can see, if you can take it to Judge
okay.
Nahara, thank you.
Okay.
Here you go.
That's fine.
And
Judge.
see if you'll waive your client's appearance for that hearing, or if
Okay.
they'll go without your client.
I think that's what I'll do then. Thank you.
All
I
right, you
appreciate
can just check in. I
All
make no guarantees.
it. I understand. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, my. Okay. It was 15,000 and they got you to double No.
I'm coming back.
Good morning, how are you? Good to see you. What's going on?
Yeah.
She needs to wait in the waiting area.
Yeah, she was in the hallway. She was. Yes.
I wouldn't give much of the act, kind of physically,
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
all the parts. No. Sure. And I was like, yeah, I had a great week. Good. Yeah. Yes. Almost. Yes. We spoke with her.
And Judge, I already told her a panel to come up and ask.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
Lead order.
Okay.
I don't think I need the file. It's an MTR.
Is it a bond?
It's a bond. I got the state to agree on the bond amount.
All right. If you'll take it to Judge Nahara.
Okay,
Yes.
is he down in the basement?
Yes, he's in the basement.
Okay.
And just let him know that I sent you there.
Okay.
Can
Thank
I see
you.
that? Indicted or unindicted?
It's indicted from an MTA. It's a motion to adjudicate.
Can I just-
Tell me when you're ready.
I trust you.
Okay, I'm ready.
35, 10.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Norma.
Okay, what you- 6819. So what we're trying to figure out is we can. It hasn't been, the application, for years to 6 months. It's came back in September. I've been asking her, but she's been just. The pre-trial service. Oh, good process. Yes. And I. Any sign of on my one, but it also make it more. Information. Exactly, and she keeps her emails. Do you know what? I appreciate it. And then I'll call you back. Yes, thank you.
Criminal trial division. All right. If you all want to see if you agree to that. And then the other person I think is a civil attorney based upon the filing. And then here's this. You're welcome. I know. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you, can you check the files? Because I think I may have given you my docket. Oh, no, I didn't. Here it is. Yes.
go downstairs. He needs to bring. You can read the instructions when you go down there. Let him know that he needs to come back, if not.
No. So what ends up happening is you have trials that are first and then it goes down. Excuse me, you want to take your hoodie off? All right. So what ends up happening is whatever case is the oldest, that's the one that usually go first. And then sometimes if it's an old case, jail cases will take precedence because there's overcrowding at the jail. And so if that person decides to enter a plea, then what's going to come up is the next trial. So we'll keep going until somebody actually goes to trial. Yes, we only have one panel. Well, no, that's what they'll do. They're questioning about to see if there are any outside influences. And basically what you want is you want a jury, even if they have strong feelings about something, the only question you really want is, can you put that aside? And can you base your decision, if you can come to a decision on whether somebody's guilty or not guilty, if you can base it upon just what you hear in court and not base it on, oh, I don't like people who do A, B, and C. Because honestly, I don't think you'll find anybody who's saying, oh, I love when people commit crimes. Like everybody has a feeling about that. So you just want them to be able to put that aside and base their decision, if they can reach one, upon what they hear in court. And if they say they can do that, then they can be fair. Yeah. No, because sometimes these trials, they only last, they last the entire week. So, and then if you end up doing back to back trials, people can end up getting tired. And then when they get tired, they don't do their best effort. And then when they don't do their best effort, the defendant suffers, the complainant suffers. So in this court, what I like to do is 1 week, criminal trial division will go to trial. Then the following week, family violence will go to trial. That way, they're not in back to back trials. So. And then sometimes if there are attorneys who tell me, defense attorneys, sometimes they will say, you know what, I've had back to back trials. Can you please excuse me from going to trial? And I will, because I've been a defense attorney, so I know how it is. And trial is very draining mentally because you have to be 100% present all the time. And, there's an issue with it, so. Hi.
This one,
I'm not sure, but John Fox, I'm gonna let him be able to appear by video. Yeah, okay.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know if you have to do.
Yeah, no. If you guys didn't agree to, we'd have a hearing on it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think that's a civil attorney. How much you want to bet? Yeah.
And this one,
Mhm.
Just an examining. I mean,
Yeah. So Judge Carruthers will hear it. We'll see what happens. All right.
I'll talk it.
Okay. Alfonso, did you tell your client not to go celebrating?
I did. To go celebrate, but stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here you go. Thanks. Christopher Esquivel.
For President Judge.
All right. Oh, come forward, Mr. Esquivel. Good morning. So on this case, the history is there was going to be a plea, but then he never entered a plea. And then Mr. Cabanos got appointed. So where are we?
Judge, so I read the discovery of my client. He gave me some information. I filed some documents via e-file, gave them to the state. And it's my client's desire to reject the offer, Judge, and go to trial.
All right. So state, I don't know if you want to withdraw your items because the police report and everything is in the waiver and steps because that's where we're on this. So I don't know if you all have copies that you have.
Yes, Judge, I can double check right.
So if not, what I think, because it has been file stamped as an official document, so I don't know if y'all want to go back and just make copies of the steps, and we'll do that. So we'll go on the record with your official withdrawal, and then because this has already been file stamped, it's sort of accepted into the record, you can make a copy of it.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah,
You're
definitely.
welcome.
And actually, I'm happy to just print fresh from Verifix, so I appreciate it. But once we do that, I'll just run upstairs and take care of it.
Okay.
But thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 6644, State of Texas versus Christopher Esquivel. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Zach Dunn for the state.
defense?
Good morning, Judge Alfonso Cabaña for Esquivel, who's present in the courtroom.
All right, and are you Mr. Esquivel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So there was stipulations presented to the court for a plea, and then you had new counsel appointed to represent you, Mr. Cabanas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And where are we on the plea for the record?
Since the last court appearance, Judge, I've talked to my client, talked to his family members about this case. They've informed me that they want to withdraw his plea and set this case or keep this case, well, set it on the trial docket.
All right, so but does he want to withdraw his
And
plea?
He wants to do it as well, Judge.
Okay. All right, so technically, he never entered a plea. So it is withdrawn. Do you have all of the discovery?
I do, Your Honor.
And my understanding off the record, you stated that there was some information you gave to the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so then what I will do is I'm going to set this for a plea deadline date because this is your attorney. I don't know what the state is planning on doing with the information that you've given. So it's going to be a short turnaround for a plea deadline date. So state if you can look into those items. And Ms. Ferguson, can we have this brought back for the end of November? Is that good for you, Mr. Cabanas?
I'm gonna check, Judge. November, like,
The week of the 27th.
yes, that's fine, Judge.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your work schedule?
I'm self-employed. I'm a welder. I could take off any date to show up.
All right, so what date, Ms. Ferguson?
No, you said the end of the week. I can do the 27th or the 30th.
All right, 27th or 30th?
The 30th works for me, Your Honor.
30th? All right, so we'll come back on November 30th. State between now and then, if you'll look over the information that
Absolutely.
defense has given, and then we'll see where we are.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank
All right, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You're welcome.
Do I sign here or is what they done?
It's still live.
Yeah.
All right, and Norma, we have some people who are here and they have not spoken to their attorneys at all. Okay, all right.
This person doesn't answer. I just watched him on. Laura says, I cannot get a hold of her. She said, call her directly. Okay, but she will be able to help you. Yes, and if she doesn't answer, try that. Okay,
I appreciate it. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. All right, good, jump on. Go ahead.
So Robert, what is the guy's name in the white shirt? If you'll come forward, please.
Come forward, sir.
All right, and if you'll speak to the court coordinator, right here.
What's your SID number?
He doesn't know it.
What's your date of birth? 3/6. What's your name? No? What's your last name?
Okay. That's good. Yeah, I appreciate it. Or if it's been without, it's good, yeah. How's it going?
You know who you're from?
Yeah, I don't. Yes, I think you
Cheryl?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
talked to him at all?
No, ma'am. Don't.
Okay, have a seat and I'll try to put the hold of him and come down. Okay, from Travis, right.
All right, and Norma, do you want the next one?
Give me 1 second. George.
Okay.
This is end of third with. And then I suppose. So previous offer that I have is inside. Or eight. The previous offer. And then if you want. We did. So it's 10.
Okay, I just sent him a.
All right, Miss Martinez. If you'll come forward and speak with the coordinator, please. And she says her SID number is 746345.
Have a seat and I'll contact him, let him know. Not me.
But. Hearing. Hold on. Let me go. Well, I think the detective assigned to the case extracts. Right, so she's not the one that extracts it, so Brittany told her the rods at it.
Yay, thanks.
So I think it was more like. When that would be my. So he's to go over there and. The toffee crunch, how flavored things. I'm not sure what we would do. It tastes like Tom's now. Do they still have the phone, you know? I think that means. But there were still some communities wrong. There were some things wrong in our areas. There's also been a question. Is a PDAC. Charges this position. And it was really bad. Different. That's what I'm saying. Logic, technology. It should be. I picture. So. Next. So, the pictures is one thing.
Mhm.
He said he's unavailable to come today, but he says that, I'll be have in contact with his office.
Okay.
So if I can get his information, give him his information.
Yes.
he'll contact
All right. And that's a case that's unindicted, correct? Yes.
Well, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share with you privilege, sticker, secret. I know. So, you know, there's.
Yes. Hey, who's going on? Yes. Take that.
That's it's saying a lot. It's saying what's a child last. No, I think that's. So we start seeing that. We have a lot.
I'm not.
But yeah, this is very impressed.
Thank you for telling me. That's very. No, I really don't. but
That gun is one of our arrests.
Thank you for telling me. That is very, well, I'm doubly glad I said.
Like, you're talking about.
Yeah. You can. Well, I feel like it's, I would consume you almost every day. Now it's like, it's a different-
Well, this.
That's-
You drive me there. Okay. Yeah, that's nuts. Exactly. I had my baby 1 year. And it was 11 settings the last time. It's got, it's gotten 6. August. Right? That's right. Richard. Arch. It's hard, not in there. Well, after you did history, right? I don't know. They told her one day racing, she moving through 3
Mr. Law? Come up here, please.
Wait, you guys have
Fill out your information here, so if you send it to your attorney, I'm gonna give you a copy as well. Fill out your address, your phone number, so you can get a hold of you.
Yes.
Here you go. Fill it out here. Sorry.
Join us.
Yes. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. So how are things going? What is the update with VTC?
So Judge, Ms. Smith has provided all documentation that's needed to move her case forward in VTC. She is, however, waiting an assessment from the VA. I was told that assessment should be scheduled the week of the 20th,
Okay.
and they will staff her case with the VCT court on the 30th of this month. So we're asking for a reset for the week after.
All right, so do you want to put the reset in December? Because you're saying
yes, Your Honor.
November 20th, okay.
Maybe like that first week in December, I think we should have
The,
everything settled.
the week of December 4th,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Let me get a date here. What's a good day of the week for you?
I can come anytime you want me to, ma'am.
Hmm?
I can come anytime you want me to.
No. I mean, usually people have, sometimes people want to say whatever they think I want to hear.
Yes, ma'am.
So you just tell me what's best for you, Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday?
On Monday, as
Okay.
long as it's not December 6th. December 6th is my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birth month upcoming. All right, Miss Ferguson, on this case, can we call it back on? Oh, she stepped out? All right, we're gonna call it back on December 4th.
December 4th. okay.
Yeah, all right, thank you. So we'll be back on December 4th, and if for some reason,
We get it ahead of time.
yes, if you get it ahead of time, or if there's a delay, just let me know, then we won't have you coming down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, is there anything else you need?
No, ma'am.
All right, we will see you back on December 4th, and they'll give you a reset form.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a seat and I'll bring it on to you.
Number 3.
No, 4th. Here you go.
Really?
This is not.
I know. Today, on Friday. They're going through, right? What do you?
So what will usually end up happening is attorneys will probably start rolling in by 10 because they have other courts to go to. And so they'll probably be here by 10. And then we will have the jury. As soon as the jury is lined up and the deputy informs me that all of them are here, we'll start with jury selection. And both sides have asked for, some have asked for less than an hour, so we'll see how much time they're asking for. I'm usually, I think, pretty generous with how much time they're given for jury selection. So I always ask them for how much time they want, and then they will let me know. And we'll go from there.
But. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, just. Oh, see.
Yes.
I just checked my pockets and I'm fine.
Mhm.
Thank you. Like good strength on that one. That's
The 5th or the 11th?
of December.
Oh, for the tour? Okay, let me look at the calendar.
Anything on there? I just want to make sure you didn't write something else in your.
You know what? Let's put it for the 11th because the 5th is a Tuesday and we probably have jury trial. So the 11th.
Yes. Not anything. Fair question.
Yeah, whatever you want. I don't remember. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I was like, I swear, I'm trying to be on top. This is the 186 century.
Is he assigned? As of like what?
I could be with, I think you're probably.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And Martha was my introduction.
The chief from the thing is now, I think if I have a good understanding, well, actually, pre. It was really good. So many courts were on first.
Yeah.
It was all the second stuff. You spend it.
Oh, and the other thing.
Oh, is that right?
You have it in over there. Did you put Bobby Daniels? Bobby McKee? No, no, Bobby, no.
Oh, that's a lot of.
Oh my gosh, why would I do that? My brain is not working. More. Having. So my uncle, his name is Robert Murphy. And when I got for that. I should bring on that. So that used to. And so I just. And then conversation shifted to Bobby.
Me? Yeah, you know.
Anyway, everything.
How about poker face?
Oh
Oh, no. I'm like.
Oh my God.
So we just all lost and crazy. And then laughing like. Here, because just found out like that.
I'm going cuts for that. As long as they're the purple cuts.
And so she hadn't even. told me. And so I explained her.
Good for him. Good for him.
You know, she was like, I've seen
That's awesome.
Bob Gaines to find out.
Can we get them to switch? So we can get.
That's awesome.
So then she went looking, she found out. that- He went to buy-
Yes.
So what to use this, yeah.
Okay.
Use it as a computer.
Okay.
Yeah, right now for him.
Okay.
And we'll just give him-
All right, and then we had one more, which is, I think her first name is Yolanda. Her SID, let me give you this person's SID number. It's
Go ahead. Yeah.
118-7142.
Okay. Okay. There's only like two.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Well, Jason.
By. I got it. And that's, it's.
That's one scary. You gotta get rid of it. Brittany's. But I know Brittany. I was like that, it that. But. I guess switching is back.
Okay, so you need to fill this information out. So your attorney, they'll give you a copy. of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's not, it really wasn't my fault. It's like, Orlando, but it's some changes, right?
It's part of the-
Oh, no.
Okay, have a seat, and I'll try to contact her and see if I can do it. Okay, so just kind of-
Very Harry Potter. You know, very annoying.
He didn't write it specifically. Okay. Okay, let me finish today. Or what wants to- Thank you.
Have a seat and I'll give you information.
Come to. Morning.
Good morning.
We did a video. With them.
See what happens.
Oh.
Then move into the entrance.
Yeah. Yes, everyone's.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a copy of what you filled out, and this is your attorney's name, his address and his phone number. Make sure you get in contact with him. Thank you.
I'm here, obviously. Yeah, I'm gonna run down the hall and I'll be back. It's quiet. Let's keep it that way.
Pops. What's going on?
I've been one out.
Oh. Thank you very much.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Oh,
Where? Let me speak with their attorney. I'm gonna speak with Adam. All right, Orlando Adino.
Judge, good morning.
Good morning.
Approach your court on that, Judge.
Yes.
I've conferred with Mr. Vernon. It's my opinion that he needs a Spanish speaking attorney, Judge.
Okay, where is he?
He's in custody, Judge.
Mr. Dino. And Dino, am I pronouncing it correctly? All right. Do you need an attorney who speaks Spanish? Okay. All right. Just have a seat. We'll take care of that. All right. Thank you so much.
Judge, I think it's in his best interest.
Okay, sure. No, I understand.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, you may be excused. Norma, can you see if Alfonso Cabanas can come back?
Okay, could we, sorry, Judge, he may need a deal letter also.
Okay.
Because he's not a US citizen.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll take care of that. All right, Javier Esparza. Come down. All right, so where are we on this case?
We've conveyed an offer to defense counsel, Judge.
Okay. And I'm assuming the DNA has been returned?
I believe so, Judge. I did see some DNA in the file.
All right. I will give you a plea deadline date.
Your Honor, may I make a request?
Sure.
So, Your Honor, I don't know if you remember, but this is the FTA from last Tuesday.
Yes.
My client had contacted our office that morning saying he was mentally not available to be able to, or able to come to court. And for safety reasons, we said, don't come to court. He was picked, the court issued an FTA, a warrant for his arrest. He was picked up that evening at his home. He's been in custody ever since. We're actually asking if the court can recall this for our plea deadline date for next week. I've presented him with the options of what he has. There's actually two plea offers on the table, either a to-do offer or a deferred adjudication, with a lot of pros and cons with both. And he would like the opportunity to be able to go home, speak to his mother. He lives with his mother. She's in the hallway. She's been with him at every court setting. He would like the chance to be able to speak with her about what she thinks and he thinks is the better offer for him to take. And then we can return back to court next week and accept either one of the offers.
All right. So with regards to him going home, I understand mental health issues that people have, but if he's at his house and there is no medical intervention where, hey, he went to see a psychiatrist or some medical intervention was done, I'm not lifting the bond forfeiture, remand without bond. If you all want to file a motion, it can be heard, but he's not going home today.
Okay, can I step back and speak to my client and explain that?
Sure.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Hello.
Jeffrey?
There's Jeffrey in front with this shit.
Elena Cardona? Yeah. She'll be asking your attorney's on her way to talk. She's here. So you can take a point of view, fill this out once you're done, just bring it out to me and then your attorney's. Okay. And I'll give you a copy of that.
Thank you. And Norma, go ahead and call Teresa Cosdavala to see if she can handle the immigration issues. Thank you.
That's not. I think it's enough. I agree.
I have a written chat. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
No. I know because I have her taste them. I really can't do them.
Oh, there's no, oh, I'm sorry. I need
Yes.
I have a client that not a president. So, Brittany Chapman.
Why is she not present?
I don't know, Judge. I've not had contact with her.
Okay.
She's been homeless.
All right, we will take the matter up.
Yeah.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 8932 and 2023 CR 8897, State of Texas versus Brittany Marie Chapman. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Orlando Costello for defense.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:06 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance in the courtroom. In just one moment. All right. Deputy Laura, was an announcement made for Brittany Marie Chapman?
Yes, Your Honor, and there's no answer.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I have not, Judge. I will try and locate her, but I've not had contact with her in the past 2 months.
All right, state,
Yes, Your Honor.
what are you requesting?
I believe counsel was going to file a motion to withdraw.
I filed 2 motions to withdraw, but I was going to take that matter if she was president.
But with regards to the non-appearance?
The state would request an FTA warrant, Your Honor.
All right, the court will issue a bond forfeiture and the court will remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. And once your client is taken into custody or makes an appearance, I will address your motion to withdraw.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. Adriana? So these are bond forfeitures. Thank you.
Ask us again.
How do we wait that Anita's coming? No, yeah, Anita's coming. Her attorney first.
Oh, gosh. I did not make. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, okay. Okay.
And Darby, you may want to check with Angel because I think Mr. Cox may still be in Hawaii. Oh, he is? He's back from Hawaii? Get out of town. Oh,
I know he came right in.
okay, here's the thing. I'm having tunnel vision. You know, when I'm focused on a case, I'm focused on a case. Everything else is to the side. Good morning. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
All right. Welcome back to San Antonio.
Thank you. Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
we're set for jury selection. My client has, and I suppose it could tell within months now. I wonder if I can run and go get him a shirt real quick from Goodwill and.
All right.
something for over.
So does he have clothes in the back? All right.
He has a nice button-up shirt and everything,
All right. Can you call the jail and ask them why they did not bring him over wearing?
because he had a button-up shirt, right? Well.
All right. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Is it possible for him to go get him a shirt and take it back with him? Okay, yeah, if we could do that.
Yeah, of course. Where's your office at?
Is here in the courthouse?
All right, I'm gonna run with him real quick, see if we can find something.
All right, if,
Ask
and Deputy Laura, I understand that cannot be done. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know.
You know, you see the women's team though last night? Did you see the CU women's team beat LSU, the #1 team?
So here's the thing,
Why would I
it's
come
not
up-
where you start, it's where you end.
I agree. Judge, we're looking for crumbs. We just want crumbs right now. Yeah, they had to keep out of class.
Y'all can do this stuff.
Oh, we saw her.
Well, you know, once you win,
Yes.
you got to come back down to earth and
Exactly.
realize that the struggle is real. And if you want to go back to the championship game, you got to start
And
playing.
they've got the team. They got a gold freshman. They got a girl from DeSoto.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, Angel.
So we're gonna see we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'll be great.
People on CU was Sweet 16 last year. So, and then they returned everybody.
Yeah.
And so they've been playing for 3 years, 4 years. So that's what they like.
And then I'm sure people were playing over the break. If you're serious,
Yes.
you just call as a captain, you call everybody in and say, hey, let's just meet at the park.
Yeah. No, LSU, she was what? Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
Yeah.
Doing things with Shaq. So
Yeah.
they'll come
Yeah.
back. Haley Van Lith is a killer.
But the main, she's not back again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Princess.
She is.
The Bayou Party.
Well, here's the thing about it. If you can make money while you're there, and honestly, I think some of them
Absolutely.
on their sports deals, they're making more money
Than they
than
could
people
have
who are actually in the WNBA.
Absolutely. That's why they're even saying Caleb Williams would
LSU
come out of USC on a rookie contract because he's
Yeah.
making more money in USC.
Yeah.
So LSU, y'all don't have to pay them under the table anymore.
Hey, nobody was ever paid under the
You can just
table.
give Marcus Dupree his money right up front.
Denise, what do you think this is, Miami?
They still want to pay under the table. Like, look, I know
Yeah.
it's privileged, but act like I'm doing something.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how was your trip?
It was good, Doug. It was good.
Oh, you seem well rested, ready to get back into the fray.
Time. It's 6 hours difference. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's tough. It's this time. It's like 2 o'clock Friday morning.
Yeah. But how long was the flight?
6 hours coming through.
But
That was just the first leg, and then another 2 hours to get to.
I want to take my mom to Hawaii, but I'm wondering what would we do there? Do you just sit there and it's just all relaxation, or is there?
Plants, you like plants.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Plants. Oh, and you can't bring any plants in here, but you can't take your plants.
And then Baltimore.
Oh, well, they told you.
It's just, you will love, you just.
Okay. You know what? Instead of going to Europe, that may be something I plan for mom's birthday.
You will love it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you a line. So, he said, I'm bringing Louis. And I think we realized some of his luggage got lost. We need some more. But you know where his lineman came from? 3 junior college. Liberty. 2 from Kent State. We're not crowdfunding.
Okay, I need a stamp. Oh, no problem. Thank you. All right, are the parties ready on Jeffrey Adames?
We are, Judge.
Court is calling 2022 CR 0491, State of Texas versus Jeffrey Adames. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense?
Greg Desmarais.
All right, are you Jeffrey Adames?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jeffrey A. Adames who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 0491 for the offense of assault, family, choking, strangulation on February 20, 5 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, stay.
On or about the 20th day of October 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jeffrey Adames, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, in that the defendant was unsuccessfully discharged from the program in violation of condition number 31.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? True. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 31, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 5 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine? I'm sorry?
I understand this.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 31?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that violation of condition 31 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We ask that you revoke and reform the defendant's underlying sentence to 4 years TDC.
That's our agreement, Judge.
All right. Mr. Adames, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Has anyone been in contact with Jaime Roberts or Jamie Roberts?
I believe so, Your Honor. I can find the exact date if you'd like, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Just 1 second, I apologize. So we had multiple attempted contacts, Your Honor. Going through some pretty robust procedures. So we had made multiple attempts, but no successful contacts.
All right. Court will grant the motion, revoke you, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Jamie or Jaime Roberts. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a question over what speak to me. Do you understand? All right, we can go out to record. Obviously, Mr. Adames, you have a drug or alcohol problem, because otherwise I would not have asked that you go into inpatient treatment. So you cannot run from your problems.
Yes, ma'am.
When you come out of prison, the same problems you had before are going to be there. And if you don't make changes, you're going to find yourself at the prison for a majority of your life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
You're
Judge.
welcome.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right, everyone, we have a jury coming up at 11. If your case is not taken care of before 11, what's going to happen is you're going to do a rush on the court to want your case heard. And you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to be coming back whenever we have a break. So if you are doing something with your case, you need to make sure you do it now. Myra Gallegos. You're on this side, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, the schedule for jury trial today, where are we?
We've conferred with the state. We have not been able to reach an agreement. I'm going to bring some more information to their attention, Your Honor, but heeding that 11 o'clock warning that you gave us.
All right, no, you're up for jury trial today, so
Okay.
you'll be here at 11.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're
And
welcome.
Your Honor, we did request that this case not be broadcast on YouTube.
All right, you'll be here at 11.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodwill, see if I can find something. Yeah, just. I don't know if I can fit them. I got an extra coat in the car, but this will fit them. I mean. And you want we have them try it on?
Okay.
Perfect. I know that. I just want to make sure I didn't get the signature. I'll be right back. Figure it out there. Oh. I haven't tried this on. There's nothing hot.
And Norma, can you see where Miss Kramer is?
Yes.
Yeah.
We asked it to send me upstairs.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh.
Maybe not, I just finished hearing Jessica's food people work. She did.
Starting the trial.
They're starting. Sure. Exact comes from 45.
Oh, Diana. On November 13th, we're having a group of court reporter students come through. So, yes, you do. So, and you have to give them the magic of court reporting. So it's November 13th. It is Sabrina. Let me see. Yes, it's Sabrina Cardenas.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
hello.
Did I miss a defendant?
No,
Okay.
Orlando Adino. He needs a Spanish speaker.
Okay.
So he's in custody. And he may or may not be a citizen. It's a theft of a firearm.
Okay.
So are you available?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, and then if you'll,
Aldino?
yes,
Okay.
and then if you'll approach afterwards, I'll give you a reset.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Vincent Moore,
Present, Your Honor.
if you'll come forward.
Or behind them. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, so then.
All right, so have you conferred with both parties?
Not yet. I mean, they're in the process of amassing some information. And I need to know if they received some new.
Received the information that could help you all a lot?
I have not.
All right, so let's do that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Right there working on something.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, who are the parties on Miguel Covarrubias? Where's the attorney? Oh. Court is calling 2023 CR 9316, State of Texas versus Miguel Angel Covarrubias. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Michael available, Mr. Covarrubias.
And are you Mr. Covarrubias?
Yeah.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Covarrubias, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation, Your Honor.
No objections?
Going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it and all the appropriate? Understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes,
Mr. Covarrubias, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration county court cause number 709012. There's to be restitution, if any, to Walmart at 5626 Walsham Road, San Antonio 78218. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
yes,
State.
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that are filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions? Showing you outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service restitution, and a referral to the felony drug court. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
no objections.
Showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes,
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
my client just wishes that you follow the agreement, and if he goes to felony drug court, he is willing to participate.
All right. How many children do you have?
No, zero.
All right.
Zero.
And when's the last time you had employment?
It's been a couple of years.
Why?
I've been homeless.
So are you planning on getting employment?
Yes, ma'am.
Or
I'm
you
willing to
just,
get a job, anything I can do.
so how did you become homeless?
Just stay on the street.
But I mean, why? I'm trying to figure out, how did you get to the point where you're stealing items from Walmart and using drugs?
Just bad choices.
So what did you do prior to this? Prior to being homeless, what was your employment?
Labor of our restaurant.
You bought a restaurant?
No, work in the restaurant.
Work at a restaurant, okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. There's going to be a TAP evaluation in custody. Follow all recommendations of TAP. Do a referral to felony drug court. Felony drug court most likely would accept you, but they're at capacity. Take in consideration 709012. There's to be restitution to and no contact with 5 Walmart located at 5626 Walsham Road, 78218. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. If you obtain a trade school certification, the court will deem those hours to be satisfied. There's going to be proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline until further notice. Field visits one time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else that he needs?
Your Honor, for that trade school, I'm sorry, can you tell me, how many communities are we covering?
200.
Okay, so wait.
Yes, once he's completed that.
Nothing else.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, man.
All right. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, you have a drug problem. You got to take care of that, because if you don't maintain your sobriety, you're not going to be successful on probation. You're probably going to pick up more cases, and the last time you use may be the last time you use. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Cabanas, just let me know whenever you're ready on a Dino. John Lopez. Oh, sorry, did you need something?
Well, I just had some, 3 other additional witnesses I'd like to get about it.
Okay, sure. Just whenever you're ready to bring them up. If I take this up, we'll take them up.
Okay, so you said.
Yes.
They're ready.
Okay. John Lopez, come on down.
Thank you. First setting.
Hmm?
First setting.
Oh, you know, we go on first settings here, Mr. Cox.
Yeah.
All right, and you're on this side, Mr. Cox. I know you've been in Hawaii, but
Yeah, the world is kind of flip around.
all right. So this is family violence. So there you are. So have you received all the discovery?
Well, Judge, I'm still going through it to make sure I have everything. So can't say that I have it all, but I'll go through it as quickly as I can.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
I'm working on that right now, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said,
So-
first setting. Then.
All right, so you're gonna get an offer today,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
and then Ms. Ferguson, can we set this early December for a plea deadline date? All right, December 7th would be your plea deadline date. All right, all right, thank you.
So just based on the fact that that's Pearl Harbor Day, that's, you know.
Oh, no.
I appreciate that.
Hey, I do what I can.
Well,
Yes, you can bring them up. All right, I have it.
We have it,
We'll
Judge?
take that up just one
Yes,
second.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I just wanted to inform you, my understanding from the state, they're gonna refile this as a misdemeanor and dismiss this case.
All right, which case is that?
Gilbert Perryman.
All right, state.
Zach, I just had to inform the judge with the Mr. Dunn.
Hi. All right, when is this going to be done?
Refile.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to them today, Your Honor, and see if we can get this done quickly.
All right, Mr. Perryman,
Gilbert,
and then we're gonna take this up after that.
I just wanted to.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Perryman, if we recall this at the end of the month, does that give you guys enough time?
It does, Judge. Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Perryman, are you able to put this on the 27th of November? All right, so Mr. Perryman, we're gonna bring you back on November 27th And if everything is taken care of before then, he won't need to come.
Thank you, Judge.
Absolutely, Judge.
All right, thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you, ma'am. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, and once he signs the reset form.
Oh, good point.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Adriana?
Didn't mean to bad pun of getting it done.
All right, this one is done. Perry, need a reset on that one? Yes, November 27th. All right, are we ready on Adino?
Pretty for an announcement.
All right, if you'll come forward.
You're an interpreter?
He's been talking to me. I think he needs an interpreter as far as if we get into legal matters. All right, Mr. Dino, come on down. All right, so Mr. Dino, your attorney, you've met your attorney, correct?
Yes.
All right, and so they're going to get a immigration attorney to speak to you as well. Ms. Ferguson will make that happen. My understanding is you're not a citizen, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to give a reset, so you will have a chance to speak with your attorney and a chance to speak with the immigration attorney. You understand?
Yes. Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what time are we bringing this back? Yes. All right, so we're going to be back on December 14th.
Okay, Your Honor.
Is that good for you, counsel?
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Ferguson, if you can make sure that he has Ms. Coles-Davalos information and she'll have your client's information so she can speak to him.
Okay,
All right, is there anything else?
not from the fence, Judge.
All right, thank you. Cassandra Pogue. All right, if you come forward. Court is calling 2023 CR 7637, State of Texas versus Cassandra Joy Pogue. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Renee Munoz on behalf of Cassandra Pogue.
All right, and are you Ms. Pogue?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, and yes, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Pogue, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're reducing to a criminal mischief.
Criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass.
All right.
Is this?
All right. Criminal trespass of a habitation as a class A misdemeanor.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Pogue, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of criminal trespass of a habitation as a class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to $4,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Pogue, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived a right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of criminal trespass habitation. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution, if any, to Juan Guerrero, and you are to participate, if accepted, in the misdemeanor mental health court in County Court 12. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Has she been accepted?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that the plea defense?
Yes, Judge. And the bottom of the plea, it states to be.
We're not there yet.
Okay, yes, Judge.
All right.
That case, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counselor, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of a year. There'll be 80 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Juan Guerrero at his address or with him in person. You are to be released only to the pay it forward at Haven for Hope. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Then to the offense of criminal trespass habitation as a class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We may, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, with respect to my clients, she's in need of some services. The state and I have been working in that regard. She has been screened and deemed eligible for mental health court out of County Court 12 with Judge Yolanda Huff. The plan is to have her lead into that specific program this Thursday. She's also been screened and deemed eligible for a paid forward program at Haven for Hope, as she is in fact homeless. So that's why we're requesting the directive that she be released there. So there won't be a lapse in terms of her living on the street. But she's motivated and ready for treatment, Your Honor, and is grateful for this opportunity because she knows that the state did not have to make the offer that they made. But it's our hope that one day, I'll invite the prosecutors and yourself, hopefully, to the mental health court graduation, and you'll be able to see her successfully standing there and changing and turning her life around.
All right, and I most definitely will show up to graduations.
Yes.
Hey, do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
What are the ages?
8, 9, and 3.
And who are they living with now?
2 of my children are taken away from the CPS, and my youngest son is with my sister.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 1 year's deferred adjudication, a referral to the mental health court. There's to be no contact with Juan Guerrero. There's to be restitution, if any, to Juan Guerrero. There's to be no contact with 430 Mitchell Street. You are to be released to pay it forward. That's a very good place.
Ma'am. I've been hearing a lot about good things about that program.
Oh, it is. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, field visits, 1 time per month until further notice.
Your Honor, what is the field visit?
Oh, that's where they come out to see wherever you're living at.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
But the conditions I'm giving to you, once this case is transferred to the mental health court, they may want to do something other than the conditions I'm giving you. And I allow them to do that, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I'm going to ask for parenting classes. Once completed, the 80 hours of community service restitution will be waived.
Yes, Your Honor. Just one thing, Your Honor, I believe a referral was already made to the mental health court last time, and they screened her and deemed her eligible. So if the court would need to do that unnecessary work,
Oh, no, our work is necessary.
yeah.
All right, proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And that's proof of employment or SSI. Probation, is there anything else you need?
Your Honor, you said no contact with Juan Guerrero and 430 Mitchell.
Yes.
Did you say restitution?
Yes, restitution, if any, to him.
Thank you. Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right, anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. If there's something that you feel isn't being addressed with probation or in the other court, you can always come back here, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good
Thank
luck
you,
to
Your
you.
Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
All right, Vincent Moore. Where is his? Oh, tell them to do the plea and we'll take it over one of our breaks. And so. All right, Vincent Moore, where are we? Hi. So did you have a chance to show everything to them?
Did, Judge. It looks like I have something to talk to the complainants about before we can make a decision on what we're going to do.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all are going to have to confer off docket on this.
Yes.
Can you give me a date for this, the last date in December as a plea deadline date, please?
We can do the 18th.
All right, December 18th. And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused. That clock keeps throwing me off.
Yes, it's off. The batteries are on.
All right, so,
Oh.
deputies,
You have the jurors outside.
okay, yeah, if you'll clear the box and then people will need to come back.
But you can approach her now.
Okay, it's fine with me. I'm just Zach for a question. Judge, may I approach on Isaac Brandley?
Sure.
Thank you. We've worked out a deal. I know you're getting ready to start a trial. I talked to Zach. He's apparently quite busy with his conferrings and he would prefer if we could do it in the morning. So I'm just at the court's.
Oh, no, they're finished conferring.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, they can do the plea paperwork
I
for
mean,
you
he
guys.
said he was talking to some lawyer that had 11 cases, so he was busy with that.
Oh, what lawyer? Is that on the docket today?
Yeah, Mr. Bales. I think Mr. Bales.
Oh, yeah, so you guys will have plenty of time to confer and they'll hold your person, just let them know.
Well, I mean, we're, yeah,
Yes,
because we're done conferring. We just need the paperwork.
all right. Yes.
Okay, and I'm also the.
Zach, will you have the paperwork done by 1:30 for them?
Judge, yes.
All right, thank you.
May I approach?
Sure. Sure, go ahead.
May I approach you?
Okay, sure.
There's nothing next week. I'll have you consider.
All right. And so everyone else, you'll need to come back at 1:30. You're welcome.
In terms of what hour, how much time and what's your preference or how things?
Oh, the way we do voir dire in here is the state gets their time. State, how much are you requesting for voir dire? 40 minutes?
40 minutes, 5 minutes.
All right, so what will happen is they'll get 40 minutes, you all will get 40 minutes. And what I'll do is I'll speak to them and then I'll give the jury their break at noon, or who knows, we may end up breaking before noon. And then once they go out, then each of you all will have your time. And I don't have you do strikes in front of the jury. I never like doing that as a defense attorney because maybe the jury will be upset with you. Yes, or maybe they will say, this is how we get out of jury duty.
George, get a copy, make sure you get a stamped copy because you got to submit it with your voucher.
So if you all, no problem. So just hold back on your strikes, but make sure that you question enough so you
Yes.
have the grounds. And then I let both parties confer and see what you all can agree on.
All right, then say general and specific, just do it all in one.
Yes.
That's what I figured.
All right, awesome. And then if you all want to take a brief break, you can. The court reporter is just taking a break.
Okay. Actually, Jason, where do we get this set up?
Sure.
Yeah, sorry. I got a flavor.
Jason, 1:30. Want to give it to him?
And so guys, the people we have coming back is Isaac Brandley, Suzanne Kramer for 1:30.
And then, Jessica.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so Norma, first page is done. On the second page, we need Isaac Bradley. Okay, and then Vernon King, of course. Myra Gallegos is on bond, but she's coming back at 1:30. Felix Apolinar.
What happened to Robert Van Horn?
Robert Van Horn, that was reset yesterday.
Okay.
All right, and Apolinar is at 1:30, and see if you can get in touch with his attorney. and- Okay,
And then this guy's ready to go.
okay, yes, yes. And then on the next page, well, the recall. I'm gonna, yes. Yes. So we have Christopher Trinidad.
Sure, yeah, okay.
There is a Christian Corral.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And this is for Trinidad, I'll go see if he's outside.
What about your truck?
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not reporting.
And then you'll have a bigger setup.
All right, Mr. Corral, can you unmute?
Yes.
Sorry, yes, ma'am?
All right, can you speak up, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right. So could I have the file on Christopher Corral?
I did too, because actually, I didn't go get those forms. That's what I planned on.
Trinidad is not outside.
Okay. All right, Mr. Corral,
Yes, ma'am?
are you able to zoom back in at 1:30?
I'll be back.
I don't have lunch till,
When is your lunch?
yeah, 1:30 should be fine, yeah.
All right, so just zoom back in at 1:30 with this same link and I'll take you up at 1:30, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Wait, am I good to leave?
Yes, leave, but just zoom back in at 1:30.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Oh, no problem.
Sergeant Force. Yeah, so that, they contact you, you know, because I'd love for them to find.
But is it gonna bother you if I print?
No. Oh, Norma. On Javier Esparza.
Okay, sounds good.
If you will let,
Thank you for the jury list.
because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my introduction, then I'm gonna give them a break. So if Jesse Gonzalez can come back, because I think this will take probably like 30 or 40 minutes, then we could actually do her plea now. So tell her if she can come back by 11:40, we'll take it up. And can I see the file on Vernon Dixon, please?
You wanna go check?
Thank you.
When you right now? So I need to provide the addresses for these people. So give me a minute.
So wait for a second.
Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna end up turning this one around, right?
Yeah.
And state, I'm assuming, I think this was filed improperly. It says affidavit of non-prosecution, but you all have seen this, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And I think the defense has seen it as well. All right, so after we do this, at 11:40, we're gonna do a short plea. And then we'll come back in the afternoon after lunch. Yeah, because I'm just gonna do my introduction and then they're gonna do theirs in the afternoon.
Are they not enough for us?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, but there's some small
Just
ones.
tell the judge that you have those and we're just getting the address.
Oh, you took the whole stack.
Right.
Did you get 2 of them?
So Jason has one, Daniel has one, and then I have one. Back.
Okay.
No. I
All
just
right,
wanted
thank
because
you.
it has the small stacks on
Do you have
there.
your?
Oh, I didn't take it.
All right, where is Mr. LaHood?
He went to go get water, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an issue, does she? Judge, we're gonna admonish one witness that we had against.
All right, have them come forward. All right, can you mute us, please?
Just go hand it over to him. Put a couple things on not this, not the, finance manager.
And then defense?
Yes,
If it turns out that one of the jurors is related to Mr. Dixon, we're not going to ask that person any questions. What we'll do is, outside the presence of the entire panel, we can call them up individually and ask them a question, okay?
Your Honor, the defense isn't opposed before we do everything. I'm okay taking that juror in right now if y'all, if we want to question, we get it out of the way. I don't think it's improper. I think everyone agrees to it, and that might answer the question. And if not, and honestly,
All right.
if it's something that we can strike immediately, then why?
All right, well, court is calling 2022 CR 9807, State of Texas versus Vernon Dixon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor. Adam, for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Dixon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
I believe so. We received a few new jail calls last night, but nothing substantive that would affect the case, Judge.
All right. And have you reviewed the discovery with your client?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Are both parties ready for trial, state?
Yes, we're ready.
Defense.
Defense is ready.
All right, it's been brought to the court's attention that maybe juror number 11 is related to the defendant. Is that correct? All right, any objections to bringing juror number 11 in for questioning outside the entirety of the panel?
No, no objections on defense, Your Honor.
All right, Deputy Laura, could you bring in juror number 11, please? Okay, no problem.
I'll wait till her turn.
Hello. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. I cannot complain. So my understanding, or there's some, not really concern, but an inquiry. Do you by chance know the accused in this case, Mr. Dixon? All right, are you related to him? Related to which witness? All right. All right, any questions from either side?
Sir, being related to a potential witness, I think that would affect your ability to be fair and impartial to both sides or to either side. You think it would affect your ability to be fair and impartial?
Sorry, nobody can hear you.
Yes.
All right. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Is he excused, Your Honor?
Just one moment. All right, that will be granted. Yes, he's excused.
You go, sir.
You're welcome. All right, then let's bring the jurors in. And I've received the election and its jury. Okay. Hello. Okay, sure. Yes. Okay, all right, thanks. Oh, we're ready.
Okay.
Yes. All right, we'll take that up at a break.
Rise for the jury. First row,
Thanks, I didn't hear.
there's numbers on the chairs. Please sit on your number. Yes. Nine, eight. I'll take your own. Okay.
Deputy.
Okay. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, everyone, good morning. All right, so over here, you guys are all awake, but over here, that was like a small good morning. Good morning, everyone. Awesome. I want to make sure that everyone is wide awake and focused. So you are in the 187th District Court. I'm Judge Stephanie Boyd. You are on the 4th floor. So what court are you in? All right, you all are acting like you're singing the Old Lang Syne where you sing it, everybody knows the first words, then everybody just drowns off. So what court are you in? Which floor? And who's the judge? All right, now you're probably asking, yeah, there was a little drown off on that one too. But you're probably asking yourself and saying, excuse me, Judge, we know where we are. Why are you asking us this question? It's based upon experience. Sometimes when we take a break, a juror will wake up or look up and everybody's gone and they forget where they're supposed to be. And we actually had a juror one time who was trying to get on another jury panel and they'll tell us, I looked up and everybody was gone. So if that ever happens to you and you get left, if you remember the 187 District Court, there's only one 187 District Court, not only in Bexar County, but in all of Texas. There's only one Judge Boyd in Bexar County. So if you mention any of those things, people will be able to direct you where you need to be. So in your possession, you have something that is very expensive. They are numbers. Could everyone please hold up your number? All right. So whenever there's somebody who asks a question of you, and if there's something that applies to you or there's something you want to say, before you say anything, just hold up your number and then the attorneys or myself will recognize you and then you can speak. To my left, and you can lower your numbers, to my left is the court reporter. Can you raise your hand? All right. I believe that everybody's job, if you can make it easy for them, then make it easy for them. I always said when I would work for other people, if only they would do things this way, my job would be so much easier. So as a judge now, I try to make people's jobs as easy as possible, if I can. So in order to make her job easy, I need everyone to speak clearly. So it's okay if you feel like you're yelling, that's fine. She's going to appreciate that because she has to take down everything that everyone is saying. And when you really think about it, not only does she have to take down what everybody's saying, she has to put in who said it. So if I'm speaking, she has to write in judge and then put down what I said. If the attorneys are speaking, she has to put their names down and say, this is what they said. And when you think about it, everybody speaks at a different pace. Some people whisper, some people are speaking very fast. So if everybody will speak one at a time, speak loudly so she can hear. And if you speak at the pace that I'm speaking at, or maybe a little slower, it will make her job so much easier. The other way we can make her job easier is this way. Can everybody in this box raise your card for me? And don't lower your card until I tell you to. Everybody on this front row here, raise your card. Nope, just the front row, number 25. No, not you. You can lower your card, 25. So everybody who has your card raised, if you're answering a question, you don't need to stand. She will be able to hear. Anybody who does not presently have their card raised, if there's something you want to say, and if you can, to make her job easier, we'll need you to stand when you're speaking. Can everybody do that? All right, you can lower your cards. Now, I will tell you, when I say that to a jury, guess what? Everybody says we're going to do that. And then guess what ends up happening? They don't do that. So I'm dependent on every juror here. If you see somebody who should be standing and they're not, just give them a little nudge and say, please stand. All right. So this case is the state of Texas versus Mr. Dixon. So I'm going to have the parties introduce themselves to you. For the state.
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Jason Garaham.
And for the defense.
My name's Adam LaHood. I'm a defense attorney.
George Schaefer. Anyone know me?
All right. And Mr. Dixon. All right. You may be seated. Now, those parties who have just introduced themselves, does anyone know any of those parties? If you do, just raise your card and let us know. You need to raise your card.
Sorry.
All right. Number 64. All right. 64. Who do you know?
One of the attorneys.
All right. And that would be Mr. LaHood. See, everyone, we're already off to a bad start with the standing. All right. We're going to pretend like that did not happen. So we're starting over. Everyone, please remember to stand. All right. So you say you know Mr. LaHood? All right. Thank you. Number 58. You may be seated.
Jason Garaham.
Okay. All right. And 64. How do you know Mr. LaHood?
I don't actually know him personally. I know him visually. He used to live in my apartment complex.
Okay.
We spoke occasionally. And I think it was before, I think he was going to law school at the time. He wasn't even an attorney yet. So we're talking probably 10 years ago.
All right. Was he a good neighbor?
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's what he wants to know. So I'm going to ask you. Thank you. All right. Number 58. Who do you said Mr. Garahan?
Yes.
All right. How do you know him?
We're members of the local San Antonio A&M club, visited several times.
All right. And you say A&M club. Yes. Is that Texas A&M?
Texas A&M.
All right. As an LSU talk, I'm not going to hold that against you. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So the charge in this case is murder, right? And I know when people show up for jury duty, sometimes you're like, please, can I get a car accident? Can I get something else? But in order for us to have jury trials, guess the number one thing that we need? Jurors, right? So what I'm going to talk about that charge in a little bit, but the attorneys are each going to have a chance to ask questions of you. Before they ask those questions, I'm going to make sure that you all have your lunch break. So we're going to come back with their questions for you after lunch break. But when they talk to you, they are not allowed to talk to you about what they think the facts are in this case. So everything that they talk to you about and every question that they ask you are going to be hypotheticals. The only way you'll know about what they think the facts are this case is if you're actually on the jury. Does everyone understand? So when they're speaking to you about something, don't go in your mind and say, so this is what this case is about. They're not allowed to go into that. Does everyone understand? Yes. Now, this case was brought to this court through what's called an indictment. Has anybody heard of the word indictment before?
Yes.
So an indictment is really just a means by where someone is brought to court. It's not evidence of anything, and it cannot be used by you as evidence of guilt or anything. Does everyone understand? So, for example, here's a chance for you to raise your cards. How many people here have ever had a traffic ticket? All right. So this is one of the worst driving jurors that we've ever had up here before. But I've had a traffic ticket before. And when I got a traffic ticket, it was back in the day where the officers had the paper tickets. So I know you're saying, but you're only 21. How could that be? So, okay, there should not have been much laughter for that. But when you get a traffic ticket, let's say they say that you ran a stop sign, right? When they give you that traffic ticket and you accept that traffic ticket, you're not saying, oh yeah, I ran a stop sign. That ticket is just telling you what you're charged with, what they're accusing you of, where you need to be to answer for those charges if you would like a jury trial. So it's not an evidence of guilt at all. And it's not to be taken as anything other than this is a traffic ticket. This is what I'm accusing you of, and this is where you need to be. Does everyone understand? So an indictment is much the same way. This is the indictment. This is where you need to be if you want a trial. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
And it cannot be used by you as evidence of anything. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Is there anyone here who cannot follow that instruction? All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you is certain rights that people who are accused of offenses have. One of them is the right to remain silent. Has everyone heard of that before?
Yes.
A lot of people have heard of that. That's great. So a right to remain silent, that means that a person really doesn't have to testify if they don't want to. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. Sometimes when I would have a client, I would say, hey, you don't need to testify. The state didn't prove their case. Or sometimes you will have somebody who they stutter, they're afraid of speaking in public, they're nervous because, hey, I got to get up here and speak in public. So there are many reasons why a person may decide not to testify. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
And you cannot hold it against them if they decide not to testify, because if you can just imagine, if a person were going to testify, they have to sit here and everybody's staring at them. So that's a pretty hard thing to do. So is there anyone here who will hold it against Mr. Dixon if he chooses not to testify?
No.
Okay. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is presumption of innocence. I'm sure you all have heard of that. Is that correct? So everyone who's charged with a criminal offense is presumed to be innocent. So if we were to take a poll right now, and I were to ask you if Mr. Dixon were guilty or not guilty, what should your answer be? Because you haven't heard anything, right? So a presumption of innocence means that the state has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, and they have to prove every element of the case. So they have to prove, for example, the day that something happened, that it happened in Bexar County. And if it were a robbery or if it were a burglary, they would have to prove every single element beyond a reasonable doubt. Does everyone understand? So what that means, since they have the burden, that means that the defense does not have to prove anything. When we're in law school, we were always taught, if you're a defense attorney, you could sit over there, you could play Scrabble, you can do crossword puzzles, you can play video games. Of course, again, when I was growing up, we didn't have video games by cell phones. We didn't even have cell phones, but they could do that. And the reason why our professors would tell us that is because they wanted us to 100% understand that as a defendant and as somebody accused of a criminal offense, you don't have to prove anything. So if ever you're on a criminal jury and you find yourself mentally saying, well, I wonder why the defense didn't bring this, or I wondered why the defense didn't do that, that means you have shifted the burden, and that burden must not be shifted. That burden always stays with the state unless and until they prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Does everyone understand? So do I think they're going to be playing crossword puzzles and video games in here today? No, but they could, because the state has the burden. Does everyone understand? Yes. Is there anyone who doesn't understand that concept or cannot follow that rule? Number 15. All right, anyone else? All right, the next thing I want to talk to you about is the phases of a trial. I'm sorry, not the phases of the trial. I want to talk to you about burden of proof. I keep telling you all that the burden of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When I was in law school, you had to know the definition of that term forwards and backwards. And if you did not know it, your professor will let you know. How can you not know this? You want to practice criminal law. I knew it forwards and backwards. I knew where to put the comma. I knew where to put the exclamation point. I knew where to pause for dramatic effect. My first jury trial, I used that. After my first jury trial, guess what happens? There is no longer a definition for proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So neither the state nor the defense can give you a definition of proof beyond a reasonable doubt because it does not exist, the definition for proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Does everyone understand? So when I was a defense attorney, when I was a prosecutor, the best way I would try to explain that would by telling people what it is not. So the historic courthouse next door that has the green rooftop, they try civil cases over there. When you go to municipal court, those are a form of civil cases. The burden of proof over there is preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not. If you're ever on a criminal jury and you find yourself deliberating and saying, well, I think this happened more likely than not, you know that you are not at the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, because proof beyond a reasonable doubt is higher than preponderance of the evidence. So it's higher than more likely than not something happened. Does everyone understand? The other burden of proof in the historic courthouse is what's called clear and convincing evidence. And that's the burden that is used to terminate people's parental rights, to say, you're a danger to this child. We're no longer going to allow you to legally be a parent to this child. That's another burden. That's the highest burden they have on the civil side. But guess what? The burden on the criminal side is even higher than that. So proof beyond a reasonable doubt is the highest burden that we have. Does everyone understand? Now, there are two phases to a criminal trial. The first phase, people always think it's the innocence phase. I'm finding someone innocent, but that's not legally how it is. The first phase of any criminal trial is whether somebody is guilty, not whether they're innocent or not innocent. So first phase, did the state prove their case or did they not prove their case? If in phase one, you find someone not guilty, then guess what? We don't go to phase two, because phase two is the punishment trial. You can only go to phase two if you were to find someone guilty. Does everyone understand? Now, in Texas, when someone is going to trial on a criminal case, they have to make a decision or an election that if they were found guilty, who would they go to for punishment? That's the law. When someone makes an election to say who they would go to for punishment, that's not them saying they're guilty. That's just them. They have to make a decision before trial starts. Who would they go to for punishment if they were found guilty? Does everyone understand? In this case, Mr. Dixon has stated that if he were to be found guilty, he would go to the jury for punishment. Is there anyone who's going to hold it against Mr. Dixon for choosing an election of punishment if he were found guilty? All right. So I'm going to talk to you about ranges of punishment. This is a murder case. The range of punishment is a long range. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 years to 99 years or life in prison. Does everyone understand? And there's also a fine range up to $10,000. So if you think about it, in Texas, all of the offenses that exist, there are always these wide ranges. So when you think about a murder case, that means that if you were to find somebody guilty of murder, you could send them to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 99 years or life. So there's a wide range. And both parties are going to want to know whether or not you can consider the entire range of punishment. And that's consider, not give it. So when I say consider the full range of punishment, that means that internally you recognize the range of punishment for murder in Texas is 5 to 99 years or life. And then because you don't know anything about this case, right? And I've already told you both sides will only be able to talk to you in hypotheticals. When I ask people if they can consider the full range of punishment, they're always like, well, I really want to know more about it. So the way we handle that is we give you hypotheticals. For example, 5 years, that's the lowest end that you can give somebody for murder. And sometimes people will do a knee-jerk reaction and say, well, I will never give somebody 5 years. But when you think about scenarios, for example, this is the one they would always give us in law school. Husband and wife, childhood sweethearts, been married forever, just celebrated their 50-year anniversary. They go to the doctor. The doctor tells the wife and the husband he has terminal illness. He's not going to survive. They go to another doctor. The doctor says, terminal illness. He's not going to survive. It's going to be very painful. He's going to get to the point where he can't breathe. He can't move around on his own. He's going to be a vegetable. He's just going to be laying in bed. There's nothing that he can do. Does everybody have the hypothetical? And as they go back home with this information, the husband tells the wife, look, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a burden to you. When it gets to that point, I'm going to let you know. Just give me some pills, put them in my water, and just end it all. Help me end it all. Does everybody understand that hypothetical?
Yes.
So it gets to the point, nurses and doctors come over and they say, yeah, this is it. We're going to have to put him on oxygen. We're going to have to intubate. We're going to have to do this. And the husband looks at the wife, barely writes down and said, remember our agreement. And so nurses, everybody leaves. She takes the pills, gives them to them. That's a murder, right? Because we don't have assisted suicide in Texas. So that may be an instance where it's murder. You say it's murder, but maybe in that instance, you would only give somebody 5 years. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Now, then you may have the other person on the other end. Let's talk about the lifer 99. Somebody who kicked the dog in school. All the teachers like this child is going to be a troublemaker. And they constantly are picking up offenses, right? And everybody says, this person doesn't follow the rules. They're horrible. They just committed a robbery, 10 years ago. They just did this 10 years ago. And you have Mother Teresa or somebody who's walking across the street. She just came back from feeding the homeless. She has her bag. She's walking the street and somebody comes up to her, grabs her purse, pushes her down and shoots her maybe. That may be a case where you're like, yeah, that person deserves life if they're found guilty. So does everybody see the full range of punishment?
Yes.
All right. So is there anyone here who cannot consider the full range of punishment if you were to find someone guilty of murder? All right. Number 7. 53, 55. Okay. All right. This is a question that always stumps everybody, and I know no other way to ask it than this. I think languages are beautiful. When I was in school, I decided to take French because I'm from Louisiana, and I thought that I would be retired at 21 and be living in France, but I'm not. I'm here. Here I am, 21 years old and still here and not in France. So is there anyone here whose English is not your first language? All right. As I call out your number, you can lower your card. Number 7, 8, 12, 25, 36, 39, and your card is turned around. Yeah, that's okay. Number 49, 50, and 65. All right, number 7, what's your native language, your first language? All right, have you been able to understand everything?
So far.
All right, number 8, what's your language? Have you been able to understand everything? All right, you're gonna have to keep your voice up.
Yes.
Okay, number 12.
Yes.
All right, have you been able to understand everything?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Number 25. Somebody nudge her. All right, yes, what's your first language? Have you been able to understand everything? How do you say hurry up in Spanish? Thank you. I can say that in every language, so I always ask. Number 36.
Russian.
Ah, okay, this is the first Russian I think we've had. So have you been able to understand everything?
That was.
All right, how do you say hurry up in Russian?
Поторопись.
All right, we're gonna work, I'm gonna work on that. Thank you. Number 39. Have you been able to understand everything? All right, when you say most of it, what do you mean?
Some big words don't comprehend.
All right, and if there's ever something that you don't understand, just let us know, okay? All right, thank you. Number 49.
Spanish.
All right, have you been able to understand everything?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Number 50.
Malayalam.
Okay, what again?
Called Malayalam. Indian.
Indian. Oh, okay. This is the first. How do you say hurry up?
Terrible.
All right. Okay. I need to speak with you in the Russian. See, I'm just going to call people by where they're from. All right. Have you been able to understand everything?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is, oh, I'm sorry, number 65. What's your language?
I'm Romanian.
Ah, we haven't had that either. How do you say hurry up? All right. I like the way that sounds. So, have you been able to understand everything?
So I don't understand all the times perfectly.
Okay. All right.
I just catch the idea.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you is about time constraints or travel arrangements. All right. Is there anyone, and I always have to tell people this now, trial will start tomorrow at 9:30 so that everybody knows. So is there anyone here who has any type of time constraint or travel arrangements? For example, you have a flight somewhere and you can't put it in my name. Is there anyone here who has anything going on of that nature? If you are, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Number 7, once I call your number, please lower it. 7, 9, 10, 14, 42, 38, 42, 54, and 74. All right. Number 7, what is your time constraint?
I'm traveling to College Station on Friday to visit my daughter. I stay there over there. Also, I bought tickets to the Texas A&M game.
Oh, I knew you were going to throw that out. All right. So how old is your daughter?
She's 19 right now. First, she's a freshman. She just started.
Okay. So what is her oh, he can remain seated. You're not going to hear in the box, just not out there. So what's her major?
Kinesiology.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Number 9.
My husband has surgery tomorrow and I have surgery the following day.
Hip surgery?
So myself is back, ablation of nerves, and then my husband has Achilles tendon repair tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Number 10.
I work nights, so this is my bedtime.
Okay. So you're doing the graveyard shift?
Right.
So what do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Okay. Number 14.
Single parent, so I was able to make arrangements with my boys today because I was school for election day.
Mhm.
But I've got to take them and pick them up from school every day. One of them's 10, the other one's 16.
All right. So what's drop off time in the morning?
9 o'clock in the morning for the old, 7:45 for the younger one.
And pick up?
Pick up time 3 o'clock in the afternoon for the younger one, or 10 for the older one.
Wait, I'm sorry. 3. And then what?
4:10.
4:10. All right. Thank you. Number 38.
Yes, one question clear, so that's why I
Okay. And where are you going to play poker?
I'm not sure.
Oh, 10 days in Miami. You just wanted us to know you play poker. So are you good? All right. So you got to speak with confidence. Isn't that a part of like the faking in poker? Okay. All right. Thank you. 42. Yes.
This coming week, I have plans to just go in Hill Country for a couple of days, but on the 18th, that's Saturday, I can't remember if it's the 18th or 19th, I'm traveling to Maryland to visit my mother.
Okay, awesome. Moms are always interested to see, you know what? Now here's the problem, what's going on. Like I called out of all those numbers and I told people to speak now, forever hold their peace. Now people are like, oh my gosh, nothing happened to me. Let me raise my card. So thank you very much. So we have somebody else raise their card that didn't before. Number 36.
I wasn't sure if it's too far out, but I also have travel plans on November 19th,
Oh, where are you headed?
Miami as well.
Are you traveling with the poker player?
I'm traveling with my daughter.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Number 40.
And I have things that they planned.
Okay, I'm sorry. You trailed off towards then. All right. So who are they playing? Okay. All right. I was just checking. No, I trust you. Number 54. Yes.
And didn't get enough time to fill the day schedule, so they're short position. And I'm on schedule to work the next 3 days.
All right.
It's too late to get.
All right. Thank you. Number 74.
I'm traveling to Dallas this weekend to watch UT whoop up on TCU and to see my daughter. And then on Monday, I'm traveling to Alaska for work.
All right. I don't know why people are just throwing out their football stuff like people are gonna win. You know, sometimes that's jinxing people. But okay. Well, I'm not traveling to see the Saints play because they're not playing very well. All right. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Number 15.
I'm a single parent who I've got a 12-year-old and a 1-year-old.
All right. And where's the 1-year-old now?
She's currently with the sitter making accommodations.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our break at this time. And then when we come back, we're going to come back and both the state and the defense will have an opportunity to ask you questions. All right. So I'm going to give us a break. And I'm looking at this clock, but this clock is not even on the right time. So I'm going to bring you all back at 1:30. And the reason why it's 1:30, so you'll know, is I have other cases on the docket that are not related to this case. So I need to make sure that the court reporter has a break because she doesn't get a break when we're talking. And so everyone, you're going to line up outside. And so I need everyone to be lined up outside by 1:30. So everyone look to your left and look to your right. That's your jury buddy. So make sure that they are with you and make sure you take your items with you. And if you'll leave the card numbers behind. All right. So I don't expect this to be a publicity case or anything, but just so that both the state and the defense can have a fair trial over the break, do not Google anybody's name or anything like that, because both parties want a fair trial. And I want to make sure that everything that you know about this case comes from inside this courtroom and nowhere else. Does everyone understand?
Yeah.
All right. So, and the last thing before I let you go, you may see people coming in this door. That's staff with the court. And so sometimes there are other items for me to sign or something else that's going on. It has absolutely nothing to do with this court. With this case, you may see people coming through that door. They're coming through that door because they didn't read the sign that says, don't come through this door, jury selection in process. And then the persons that you see here, sometimes there are attorneys who want to see what's happening. And then this is an intern. And we have a lot of students who are interested in maybe becoming attorneys or working in the legal field. So I always keep the court open for them to come to see different things to see if this is the profession they really want. All right. So if you all make sure you're lined up outside by 1:30 and we'll start back. All right. All right. Everyone, please rise.